Sometimes you have more lack. Once you get everything that you wanted, you suddenly have this more lack, but of something that you now have no idea how to fill. Because before you had this lack and you thought, if I get fame and money and like marriage and all this stuff, then that's going to fill this lack. But then when you still have a lack, you're like, what the fuck do I fill this with?
Yes.
Like,
you're robbed even of the fantasy, so it's even worse because at least before you have the fantasy
of something to chase.
Yes, but now you're left with with the brokenness and not even a fantasy. Rene Girard, philosopher, he once said that. He said, imagine a man in a rocky field, and he's told there's a treasure under one of the rocks. But he's lifted up so many rocks and he hasn't found the treasure. Rene Girard said, eventually he will seek a rock so heavy he cannot lift. And what Girard is basically saying is that sometimes we want to continue to have the fantasy that something will work, and we'll just create more and more obstacles rather than face this idea that, money can get you a better shower. When I moved to America, I had a patron who was supporting my work, and he lent me this beautiful house, and you can get good air conditioning and all of that, but it doesn't fix the existential angst in your life. Even the winners lose. This is called the failure of success. In a sense, you succeed, and in succeeding, you hit a fundamental failure. But that's the first step to the success that's in failure, which is when you fully confront that failure, then you can move into something much, much richer, much better.
How do you begin to confront that kind of failure and confront that emptiness?
Like what is like this Christmas story teaching us of like what that the grittiness, like what does that look like practically to get to that?
I mean, this is actually interesting about the story because people think, well, why do you need this indirect approach to embracing your humanity, right? Why do you need this notion of like, I want to become like God, and God becomes fully human, so I confront my full humanity? But actually, that's the way we work, is that often, again, if someone goes to a psychoanalyst, they want to escape their suffering. They're there because they want to get rid of it. They don't want to face it. Just get me fixed again. Just get me right. And then the analyst has to very, very subtly over time help you face what you cannot face on your own. It's just like when Kierkegaard said about music, is it's so difficult to confront these difficulties and the lack. That we'll do anything to avoid it. We need art, we need music, we need friends, we need liturgical structures that help us do it because it's so hard. So in a sense, there's never a direct route to your humanity. It's always indirect. And so this idea is like you identify with God in this story, and I want to, because all God is the one who lacks the lack. In a sense, that just think about it as God is the one who is whole and complete. So we want to be whole and complete. We want that. And then through the nativity, we confront our humanity. That's why I do the work that I do, is because I go like, we can't do it directly. In fact, weirdly, to believe as human, to doubt divine, right? To believe and to have and to kind of pursue wholeness and completion, that's easy for us to do, really. We believe that naturally, that something's out there that's going to fix us. But if we want to embrace doubt, complexity and ambiguity, if we want to look at our own suffering, then we need a lot of help.